I call the member for Monash.
Deputy Speaker, I have the greatest respect for the member for Bean. He knows that, as I have respect for every member of Parliament in this place. However, the member for Bean has completely missed the point. This motion is not about the government's response to aged care. This motion is about older people, their place in Australia, respect for older people, living life to its full as an older person, and giving the opportunity for older people to participate actively within the confines of the nation. And as the basis of the motion points out, the number of older Australians over 50 is going to increase exponentially over the next 10 and 15 years. Now, I happen to be one of that group. I was asked on radio this morning, Deputy Speaker, you're not going to like what I'm about to say, do you think the Liberal Party is ageist? And I had to answer, yes, they are. But I should have said in that, and I didn't get a chance to say it, because they reflect the rest of the Australian community. They say to people like myself, well, we're old and we're retired, so why aren't you old and why aren't you retired? Because I don't feel old and I don't feel like retiring. Why? It was never about my performance, and as one elder of the party and former leader of the party said, he's too old and he's been there too long. No question about a performance. And then I was asked about President Biden's age. And I said, it's nothing to do with President Biden's age. It's about his competence. Nothing to do with his age. There's plenty of people of that age that are still working on their farms. They're still working as doctors and specialists and operators in their field. It's only Catholic priests now that are told that you've got to retire at 75. It used to be 70, but they ran out of priests. I say to you, Deputy Speaker, that the opportunity given in this notice of motion by the member for Mayo is an opportunity for Australia to grow up and recognise that older Australians have a place in the future. Not looking to the past the whole time, but a place into the future. And what the member for Mayo has asked for calls for a minister for older Australians. Well, wouldn't that be a turn-up? That we actually recognise that this major bulk group in the community deserves some attention, rather than saying, as a member for Bean said, it's all about aged care, how are we going to look after them? No, they are looking after themselves quite well, thank you very much. Overall, I know there are people doing it hard. There always will be, and we do our best to accommodate them. But overall, older Australians have done well. They've worked hard. They've put a nest egg together. They have good superannuation. They have opportunities for pensions if they need it. If they've paid their house off and they're not paying rent. I had one pensioner saying, what do you want about? Myself and my husband are doing quite well on the pension, but they own their house. And they have probably a conservative lifestyle. I don't know how each person... I mean, I remember one of my friend's mum said, what are these people on about? She'd been on her own for years. And she said, I save money on the pension. I save money on the pension. Now, I suppose it just depends on your lifestyle and how you operate and how you go. But it should be an exciting time for people when they turn 50 and say, like one of our great pop stars said this morning, I'm turning 40 and I'm excited to launch myself into the next stage of my life. I'm saying people are turning 70 and they should be launching themselves into the next stage of their life in an exciting way, in a futuristic way, in a way that says, I want to be part of this great nation, this great Southland, this amazing place, and I want to take leadership roles. And I want to be recognised for the experience and the ability that I have and the wisdom that I have learned over many, many years that will keep younger people out of the trouble they would have headed for if they'd have kept going down the track they're going. This motion's a good motion that recognises that people in Australia over 50, over 60, over 70, sometimes over 80 and over 90. In fact, my auntie, who lived in your electorate, Deputy Speaker, died within 2 weeks of her 102nd birthday. And at age 95, she went on a 6 weeks fishing and camping trip with her son. Not bad. Good on you, Auntie Glad. Good on you, Auntie Glad.